This is 2.5 more orthographic projection, and we are going to walk through the first block together. Hey, I'm recording. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so let me zoom out a little bit.
I'm on TV.
Instructions are to draw each of these to half of their actual size, which means we have to scale them down in half. Choose which one we want for a front view. Typically, it's going to be this direction on an isometric drawing is going to be our front view. Right side would look this way, and top would look down at the top. So I know my overall width here is 4, but I've also got this bump out to consider, which is a 0.75 inch bump out. Hi, Cami. So I'm going to slide this off the screen. I'm going to talk about a little spatial orientation here of how this is going to fit, knowing that I'm going to cut it down in half. Front view, I'm going to put halfway down my page because I'm going to try and fit 2 drawings on one page. And I will start here. If it's 4 on the paper, that means I draw 2 over or 8 blocks. That is my bottom edge. I already screwed up because there's a jog in it. So looking back here one more time. This is a width of 0.50, which means it's going to be a 1/4 inch or 1 block on my page. Over, then up 0.50, which I can tell from right here, 0.50, and drop back down. So we go over a 1/4 inch, that's our bottom foot, up a 1/4 inch. We're going to end at 2, and I can connect these together. That's my bottom foot there. This height right here is 1.50. So it's going to be 3/4 of an inch on my page, or 3 blocks. And then the jog over here is, I have to figure this out. So you guys might want to check this out because you may not know this. Mathematically, on a working drawing, they give us a 4-unit overall here, but they only tell us that this top hat is 2 and that this is 1. So we have to do the math or assume or figure out that, oh, this is going to be 1 as well, which on our paper is going to be a 1/2 inch because we're scaling it in half, or 2 blocks. So there, and then my jog up is a 1, which means it's going to be a 1/2 on the paper. Jog over here is a 2 on the drawing, which means it's going to be a 1 on the paper. Down 2, over 2, and I got to fill this in. So figuring out the height of this thing, it is 0.75 from this edge right here. Looks like it's centered, and the thickness is 0.25, and it's 0.75 out. So I've got to scale all that down. Thickness of 0.25 means it's going to be an 1/8 inch on my page, and I'm just centering these. This would be 3/8 of an inch here, and 3/8 of an inch to the bottom, and then my bump out here, 0.75, would go out 3/8 of an inch or a block and a half, up an 1/8. That is my bump out right there. So I've got my front view done, and now I can start to use my front view to figure out my right side view. Shared bottom edge, move over far enough for dimensions. My depth, overall depth here from front to back is 2.5. So that's going to be 1.25 on the page, or 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This view is going to be a little bit easier to draw. My overall height is going to match my other view. The only other things I have to figure out is like the distance from front to back of this tab. It's 0.50 here. Overall is 2.50, and it's a 1.50. So I got to do the math on that, which means this backside is going to be 0.50 as well. 0.5 plus 1.5 plus 0.5 equals 2.5. So I'm going to go up to the same height here. Draw that in, up to the same height here, Draw that in, and my top hat shared across the top. And now I've just got to fill in these steps. And I can use my straight edge to come across here. I know my step is 1.5 wide. I've got this edge to put in here. Another thing to pay attention to on the screen right now, line precedence. So I've got a solid edge here which I would see, but on the back side I've got another edge. They're at the same height, so the precedence of lines says, oh, this solid line wins out. So this will be a solid line right here showing this ledge. What about this one right here? This line right here on the right side view, what's that going to be represented as? A solid. Would we see it from this, if we turn this block this way, would we see it from this face? We would not. So if we think about looking at this from this direction, we can't see that pocket behind this. Oh, yes, this would be solid, but that line right there would be a hidden line. And it's going to be, it's 0.5 on the drawing, so it's going to be 0.25 up, or we can match this up, and then we're going to have a hidden line. Dash, 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 even lines. Okay? That should be it for our right side view, and we've got our top view to do yet. So top view, we can use these to transfer up. Depth, again, is 5 blocks deep. One, two, three, four, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops, too far. Front edge is going to be straight. Got a couple more details to draw here. One would be my bump out, which would come out to here, and I know that it is 3 blocks wide because it was the same 3 blocks wide here. That's my shelf. And I got some hidden lines to draw in. So knowing that this pocket underneath here has to be shown, I can line it up like this and draw a dashed line all the way across this. Same with this one over here. And then these 2 lines are going to be solid because they would be seen from the top. One measurement on the paper is equal to 2 measurements in real life, or a 1/2 scale.